Today's video is sponsored by Crossout. In today's video, we are taking a look at a very popular internet phenomenon, if you can repair things with ramen noodles and how well it works. Really though, this is what you want to see us do. This is it. This is it. We're doing it. Let's go.
You did some research and found why this is a thing, or at least how this started. Someone popular on an app in China posted a video of repairing, was the sink the first one?
The sink. As far as we can tell, the sink was the very first video, and it is on an app similar to TikTok. This is an app that's used in China a lot of the time. And this guy repaired a sink using ramen noodles, supposedly. He took an entire chunk of ramen noodle.
Several.
Stuck it in the sink, made sure to add the seasoning packet, and then just sort of covered it in glue.
I think we have had hundreds of comments asking to see us test whether this works. Can you actually repair stuff using ramen noodles and super glue?
We have actually been hunted down, I don't know if you know this, but not just YouTube, but our Facebook, our Instagram, and Discord, all four of those, we have been getting just slammed with comments about this, so I went shopping.
We're not even the first ones to try this at this point. But
so many people
like, we had
have.
comments as recently as like
This
today,
morning, yeah.
still asking about this. So I think are gonna try it. We have several things that aren't yet broken and one thing that already is broken. And we're gonna be doing some tests about whether you can repair them using ramen noodles and super glue.
So while we will see if we can fix things with ramen noodles, something that is really fun to build on your own is your own robot, which is something that you can do in the online vehicle shooter game Crossout. All the vehicles in the game are player made, so you have complete freedom to create whatever you want.
The game gives you a huge arsenal of parts to build from, but it doesn't take very long to build a robot from scratch, so it's easy to get into the game quickly. There are PvP games, co-op PvE raids, and open world campaign that you can play alone or with friends. Best of all, the game is completely free to download and play, which you can easily do on PC, PS4, or Xbox One.
By registering now, you can also receive 3 free weapons or a van cabin, so go ahead and register by clicking the link in the description.
Now let's get back to testing the ramen and noodles.
In a previous video, Nate sawed my beautiful little Jace board in half. So we're gonna try and fix it today, but we're not just gonna try and put it back together. No, we're actually gonna try and make it a little bit longer, maybe actually make it about the size of a real skateboard. This is a penny board, it's much smaller. We'll see if we can modify it with ramen. Here's the basic idea. We have a lot of ramen noodles and we have a lot of super glue. We're going to see if we can repair several household items using these two things.
Well, to start out, we've got some dishes. We've got 3 dishes, a plate, a bowl, cup.
Yep.
And I can't help but notice that these are not currently broken.
Yeah, that should do it.
The trick here is going to be breaking them a little bit without breaking them a lot
of it, which is why I actually bought multiples.
Break.
I'm very impressed with this plate.
Flawless.
I don't.
All right, so we've got that. We've got that. All right, I want to break a piece off of this piece here, and then just so we have a good sized gap, and I'll try and just glue that back together. Sans ramen. There we go. That's a good sized missing piece, I think. So I'll work on gluing these 3 pieces back together, and then we can start the patching process. Like my plate, you're gonna have to break a piece off of what broke.
The bottles that the guy had in the video were completely unmarked. I don't know if he just peeled the labels off or what, but I went for the bottles that looked as close to what he had as possible. We'll see. Okay, listen.
Screwdrivered it. So I wanted to try a little variation. We are still gonna be using the ramen on 3 things, but on our cup, I wanted to try something else. Super glue has a chemical reaction when it touches baking soda, and it makes it solidify pretty quickly, very quickly in fact, and it turns into just sort of a hard white plastic. So with our cup, I'm actually going to try and repair it using just baking soda and super glue without any ramen involved. All right, I'm gonna start off with just pouring some super glue down in here a little bit. Obviously it's a liquid, so I can't fill in the whole thing, but keep going. I'm just gonna sort of do layers of this.
You do that, I'm gonna turn on the blender. In one of the videos, a bowl was repaired and they'd used like just the shavings, I guess, the the crumbs of ramen. So I've made a powder. We're gonna see just how perfect we can get this bowl back to be, if it's even possible. Some people, including one of the first videos I saw, the guy just had a piece of paper, held it here, dumped some ramen in, and poured in the super glue. Seen other people put a piece of tape there. Because I am gonna be turning it a few times to make sure I get all sides, I'm gonna go the tape route, see if it works. So, tape a bowl. Just gonna go ahead and start piling in some ramen dust here.
All right, using super glue and baking soda, I've now built up considerably more than I needed to cover most of this chip.
Whoa, can I borrow you for a minute?
Oh, that definitely is reacting.
Wow!
It's a good exothermic reaction. It's putting off
It's steaming and bubbling.
steam or smoke or vapor of some kind.
Yep. Very warm to the touch.
Which is a good sign actually, because
Yeah.
it means it is going to catalyze and
It is
react
reacting, and
with the ramen.
Holy cow, that's, well, didn't see that coming.
All right, so now I'm actually gonna take our chisel and I'm gonna try and take down some of the extra super glue here and hope it doesn't, just break my whole cup and everything. Again, this is something sort of from the original videos, is using, I think it was a paint scraper.
So while my bowl is curing and hopefully repairing, while Nate is finishing our cup here, I'm gonna start taping together our board. We are gonna add a little bit of a gap, see if we can just fill it up with ramen. This will be the weirdest size board ever. It won't really be a penny board anymore. It's not gonna be a skateboard. It'll just be some sort of hybrid hitting, maturity board. Not really sure what it is in life yet. I don't think the ramen's gonna replace the fact that we took off the grip tape, but.
My plate's got quite a bit of ramen noodles and then ramen powder built up on it with several layers of super glue as well. I'm now gonna try using my chisel to just take away some of the parts that are too big. The ramen is way easier to cut through with this chisel than the plain super glue and baking soda was. Although when I hit the chunks of super glue in it, it definitely gets harder again.
So everything else is sort of curing right now. I've got my board taped together. We're gonna start adding in the ramen noodles and the super glue. We're gonna see how this goes.
Our plate, bowl, and cup are at I wouldn't say they are perfectly repaired, but they're at a state of great improvement. The plate and bowl, again, that's super glue and ramen. The cup is being repaired with super glue and baking soda, because that's a known element that combines well with super glue to sort of harden into a translucent plastic. And we've sanded them down quite a bit. There may be more that we could do, adding very careful, thin layers of more super glue and ramen, but I think we're at a pretty good spot right here. They're fairly smooth, and we're now going to move on to paint. For the cup, we've got some paint that almost matches. We're gonna have a clear difference, but I didn't take the cup with me to the store when I bought the paint, and I don't think they carry this just slightly oranger shade of red anyway.
It's fine.
It's gonna be pretty close. And then we've actually got two different kinds of white. We've got just a gloss white, regular spray paint, and then we have what says it's an appliance epoxy, and that should be pretty durable. So we're gonna try just, one of this, and then I'm not sure what the inside of the cup will be. I'll just sort of see which of these two I like better going on. We'll see how that works. One note, the inside of our bowl is not as smooth as the outside. This is a proof of concept. We're not trying to make it 100% perfect. If we had better tools or time, we could definitely get this smoother to match the outside, how smooth that is. But for now, we just had a little bit too much ramen built up on the inside, and taking it down would take a long time. So we're just trying to test if this can work, and I think we've got plenty of pieces to do that with.
It's fine. Everything's fine. This is fine.
Start getting the paint on there and you really can see where I've got some slightly lower spots that aren't perfectly smooth and flush. We've got 4 things that we have repaired with super glue.
Did we
3
though?
with ramen, 1 with baking soda. And I've done a little bit of paint on the ceramic pieces. They look okay. I talked a little bit about how we didn't spend tons of time on this, so you can still see there's little gaps in pieces. I also didn't use any sort of primer, so I'm spraying red over red right here, and right here where it was actually missing a piece, I'm spraying red over the sort of translucent white. With the plate, again, there you can see all the little divot bits. The ceramic underneath it was this super bright white, and even with a very good coverage of white over that, it's not a perfect color match.
Given the fact that we spent, a couple hours on that, that's not bad. Also, that's not the only things that we fixed. Like, I am curious to know, like, I want to try and put a hot drink in one of these. I want to see if it survives. But I'm very, very happy about this one.
We have repaired your skateboard a little bit. We expanded it by about half an inch as well.
This is not a skateboard. This was a penny board. It was a very, very small board. It is maybe a centimeter wider now. Repaired, with air quotes, with ramen.
Do you think it's gonna hold up at all?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, it's held together with a lot of super glue and the gaps are all filled with glue and ramen. I'm curious about the durability of some of the other things, like this bowl, for example. So I wanna do a test and just
see if you can chip it.
Hit the side of it and see, I'll just sort of alternate between hitting the super glue and the ceramic and see which one breaks first. Pretty gentle tap.
Okay. Oh, they don't sound that different anymore.
I'm gonna say that at least with a casual level of abuse, it's holding up somewhat. Like,
what?
The biggest thing we actually lost was just a chip off of the surface, somewhere where it was already cracked. So we had this chip in here already, and it broke a little bit of it off. But the overall integrity of the bowl, I think we may have extended some cracks down here. But the super glue noodle hybrid did not come out. Now it might be a little looser. I'm just gonna hit it from the inside and try and break it out.
Oh.
Here goes. There it is. Now it's coming out.
And
so, to some extent, that was working. That formed a solid piece and it held in there. Casual use, even just hitting it with this chisel a little bit, it didn't break until I just dropped the whole bowl. So repairing a sink, that might do it. It might work all right.
Hey Nate.
Yeah.
Made lunch.
Oh good. Well,
survived.
Holding up.
Yep.
The paint isn't so thrilled.
Well, no.
However, it does seem to be holding noodle juice and
Okay, that was boiling water. That water boiled. I had it in there for over 3 minutes when all was said and done. I really thought that the noodles would expand or something. I guess they're sealed in with, even after they were sealed, we sanded it down.
Paint helped a little, I guess. I guess that lends some credence to the idea you could use it for a sink. It's gonna be waterproof.
It's watertight, and I put that in the microwave. That was boiling water. It's hot. I'm confused but entertained.
Well, I think it's time to test the board.
Let's try the board. Man, I've got high hopes for it. I put it out on the street and everything. I'm just gonna, same thing as I've done in the past testing out boards, I'm just gonna see if I can put my weight on it. I'm much more nervous about this than the flex tape. Wait, hang on. Here, I'm gonna do that. It's working!
It is holding at the moment.
Guys, it's working. I'm just gonna, goodbye!
You made it almost 3 feet.
Wait, don't move it, that's the coolest. Here's the thing, I didn't actually think it was even gonna take me standing on it. I think I stood on it for too long. I probably could have gotten at least 10 feet.
Yeah, it turns out super glue and ramen, not super great for...
You need flexibility in a board. You need it to have a little bit of a bounce. The point of super glue is that it's very rigid. Ramen is brittle. It's not a good combination for a board. However,
sinks can be rigid.
They can.
Skateboards, not so much.
The fact that it even held my weight though, I'm just thrilled about.
Pretty impressive.
I might glue it back together and just make it into a shelf because it's fantastic.
Also, a big thanks to Crossout for sponsoring this video. Crossout is free to play on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And remember, you can unlock 3 weapons or a van cabin by registering now and clicking the link in the description below.
Guys, that might be it for this board, but we've always got more for you to see. Go ahead and click that box up at the top if you want to see our latest video, and we'll talk to you in the next one. See you then.